Welcome back for match 2. This is Old Man Pool. I think we got a keepable hand here. I've got the sweet curve of 2-drop, 4-drop, 6-drop, but we have good lands, and I think this is not something you ever want to pitch back. It doesn't take much to make this hand pretty good, too. Uh-oh. The Mistcloaked Herald offensive. Looks like we're playing Merfolk again, whether we like it or not. It's not very often that my opponent plays a 1-1 for 1 that I'm really like, I'm in trouble, but Mistcloaked Herald has the potential to be pretty good. Quitesail Corsair, not a bad follow-up. Let's play our Ixali's Keeper here. We'll probably have to Fire Cannon Blast something next turn unless we find a relevant 3-drop. Probably shoot down my opponent's Kitesail Corsair, and then we'll start trying to race. We're definitely behind on the tempo game though, and we have some kind of expensive cards. But if my opponent's first 2 cards are any indication of the rest of his deck, I'm not sure that we can really play defensively either. No 3 play. That's promising. So do we want to Fire Cannon Blast or we just want to play Tianali's Knight? Counter Magic's always possible. Okay, I think I like just playing Tianali's Knight and crashing in. Let's go ahead and... Well, he could have... What if he has Swift Warden? If he has Swift Warden, are we just dead? Ugh. I really hate swinging into that. If he's got a 3-3 play, that's pretty catastrophic. That 2-mana gonna matter. If he has it, he'll play it next turn anyway. Oh man, I think I'm going to attack. If he's got it, we get crushed here. But if he doesn't, I think that 2 points of damage is going to be very relevant. Okay, it looks like he didn't have the blocker. So now we get to see if there's a counterspell. I should have played Tianali's Knight first, because then we could have attacked there safely. Whether he had counter magic or not, but didn't think to at the time. Okay, maybe my opponent just doesn't have a play? That's the best case scenario. It's not super likely. Okay, Expel from Mrazka. A reasonable tempo play, but not a good card advantage play. Not the Discovery. It's not what I expected to see. That is a good card. It's not as aggressive though, which actually I think increases our odds a little bit. Okay, another land isn't terrible here. I think we're going to play Thrasher Raptors at this point. Next turn we'll play Charging Tuscadon. And Charging Tuscadon is something my opponent has to block. Okay, let's get in with the Keeper. It's funny, so far we've been mono Ixalan. Next turn, if we find a mountain, we could also play Fire Cannon Blast and Tianali's Knight, if that seemed effective and appropriate. Okay, we go down to 10. So he's going to play something here and get a sweet Explore trigger. Free land off the top. Ooh, Siren Reaver's a problem. Finding a mountain would be really nice because I really want to shoot this. Well, so we could play Tianali's Knight and Thrashing Brontodon instead. My opponent's showing us 7 damage of flying and unblockable though. I think we just have to Fire Cannon Blast. It feels pretty bad. I don't think we can take 4 though. Yeah, I'm not sure there's a real good way out of this game for us. Opponent had a pretty good aggressive start. But let's kill the Siren Reaver. We'll get in with the Thrasher Raptors. No, sorry, get in with Ixali's Keeper and then keep the Thrasher Raptors back. Maybe we can still find a way to victory. We want to get in with the Keeper because it can't block the Stalker anyway. Still that mono Ixalan, though. Too good, too good. So if he has a bounce spell, that's bad. If he has a pump spell, that's bad. Doesn't have either, it looks like. Okay, so we'll go down to 7. Still technically have 3. Oop, alright, I'd say technically have 3 turns. Have 2 now. Another land. So maybe we just need to play Ixali and hope to hit something powerful off my opponent's deck. And Forerunner would be absurd here. But we don't have it. I could also play Charging Tuscadon. This represents 8 damage. I could swing my opponent down to 12. We go down to 3. Next turn, we swing. Like, he can keep this back to block. Guess that's not quite enough. It still does 6, 11, 13. Or if he just blocked there, though, that's 13. So if he had Stone Cold nothing next turn, that play would work. I think Atali's our better play, though. I guess if we played a Tuscadon, we get a swing with both of these, though. Maybe that is better. I could force my opponent to maybe make blocks. And obviously we can't play around any removal, any bounce spell, anything like that, and we're still just dead. But this represents a lot of damage. Okay, opponent blocking, which I think is perfectly reasonable there, especially if you don't have anything in hand. Opponent is at 9. We have a lot of trampling power. If he doesn't have any play here, he's actually in kind of trouble. He's been filtering his draws pretty well with Path of Discovery. Like, he hasn't gotten too many actual +1/+1 counters, but he has pulled lands off the top, so I would think that he's probably got stuff to play, but maybe not. Alright, looks like we got him. I think that was our best line. Better than Atali, although that obviously does lose to a lot of things too. But I think Atali's just kind of spinning the roulette wheel and hoping to get lucky. Cool, I'm kind of ecstatic that we managed to actually take that game. I don't think we win very often. But how are we sideboarding? Probably going down aggressive again. Taking out something like Armasaur. Frillbacks, I can't decide if they're nice or not. I mean, they do have 2 toughness, which is kind of awkward. Yeah, I think that they're still probably good, though. I think we just need to try and pressure my opponent's life total. Makes things like Raptor Hatchling maybe not quite as good as well, considering it's going to be unlikely to block a lot of the time. Is Nest Robber really better, though? If he's playing like some amount of just Swift Wardens or a Forerunner or something, though, Raptor Hatchling is good. He'd have to be pretty much mono unblockable for us to not like it. I think let's just shift this way again. Could see an argument for not keeping Strength of the Pack, but that also has the potential to just win a race kind of out of nowhere. I think it's likely we'll be racing. Alright, we're going to keep this hand. It's a little bit dangerous. We do need to find a 3rd and 4th land drop, I think, to be competitive. But we are on the draw, and we do have a 2-drop, which is pretty important. And a pretty quality 2-drop, too, if we do find a 3rd land to play the Frillback or the Brontodon. No 1-drop's nice for us, and a land is good too. Probably would be too much to hope for my opponent to not have 2. Ooh, Jungle Delver's interesting, because either he just drew that, or it's his only other Merfolk in hand and he wanted to get value off the Silvergill Adept. Well, I guess either way it was a little bit inefficient for my opponent. Wonder if he just has like a billion bounce spells and the like. Revealing Jungle Delvers. I think that tells us more than it usually would. Do we just want to trade if he attacks? I'm sure he does. Or do we want to try and race? The Erazka Frillback, I guess, races fairly well next turn. It's possible he has Aggressive Urge, since he doesn't, or maybe doesn't have tons and tons of Merfolk in his... Although I guess Aggressive Urge is bad here, because it's only 1 toughness. Yeah, I think we'll block. My opponent got card advantage out of this, but I think the longer the game goes, the better we are off. River Herald's Boon. Okay, no, that's big. Good value for my opponent there. Jungle Delver is the follow-up. Looks like. So we could play Fire Cannon Blast, or we could just play the Frill back and pass. I think I want to save my removal for a flyer we can't deal with. Let's play the Frill back. Is another combat trick, it starts getting kind of awkward. I mean, if he has another River Herald boon, we probably just lose this game. If it's just an aggressive urge, though, it's okay. I guess if he had Bounce Spell, it would be bad. Yeah, I think you swing with the Jungle Delver there. I could block and force him to use up all of his mana this turn. Wonder if that would be good. Probably not as good as just blocking. Okay. So my opponent has gotten good value off of River Herald's boon and the Silvergill Adept. Okay, Forerunner of the Heralds is pretty strong. But we're still at 19, like we're slowing the game down, and that's, I think, to our advantage as well. Merfolk Mistbinder. So that puts us in kind of an interesting spot. I guess if he plays the Mistbinder next turn, we could still potentially trade with... No, we can't trade with Thrash. So this is bad because it's going to get big really fast, and Mistbinder's bad because it makes everything else bad. Do we have to just Fire Cannon Blast here? We could play Thrash, take 5, swing with the Thrasher Raptors, next turn Fire Cannon Blast, can't play a second something though. I think we might just need to shoot this. That feels unfortunate, especially given that Mistbinder is one of my opponent's better plays. But I think that's just going to get out of hand pretty quickly. And setting up an opportunity later on where we enable Raid is going to be hard. I think we are behind, but not like, ooh, yeah, we're really glad we shot it then. Obviously, it's impossible to know beforehand, but Kapala could have really ruined our day too. Okay, so we take 2, we're staring down 7 points of damage though. Really do want to keep hitting our land drops. That's good. And I guess Jungleborn Pioneer doesn't do exceptionally well. We play Thrashing Brontodon. I guess it's our best defensive play. Then he can't effectively swing with either of these cards unless he has removal. This is also our most mana-intensive play. So again, I think we're getting beaten down here. We're a little bit in trouble, but my opponent does have 1 card in hand. We're kind of weathering the storm. Yeah, it looks like all he's gonna be able to do is put a counter on the Jungle Delver. So pretty happy with that. Sully's Keeper was a good draw. Do we want to swing with the Brontodon? I don't think so. It's just such a good blocker. Let's dump our hand here though. Should have played the Jungleborn Pioneer first. I don't know. I don't know. Alright. And, I mean, we've got a lot of good, like, top-end draws here we could have. Ooh. Oh yeah, okay. I was like, oh, is this Windstrider or something? Nah, it's just Jungle Delver. And this card will get big eventually. In a couple of turns you can start doing it twice per turn, but I think we've got a good spot here too. Another land's a little bit less ideal. Do we want to play Thrasher Raptors? I guess probably over Ixali's Keeper. So we're successfully stalling. The Jungle Delver will be a problem eventually though. Like, it can start swinging as a 5/5 now. We actually don't have tons of things that interact with it very well. Siren Reaver. With no raid. I guess he doesn't want to give us the opportunity to kill off the Jungle Delver, though, too. Purging Tuscadon's pretty good. Still doesn't fight through the Delver particularly well, but if we get up to 8 mana for the Ixali's Keeper, we can make this a 9/9 Trampler, and that does tons and tons of damage if it gets through. I think we swing with Thrasher Raptors. I'm okay trading this card for anything on the field right now. And then we'll play the Tuskodon. And we're getting close to the point where the Thrasher Raptors can't swing. Oh, okay. Swift Warden's pretty good. Doesn't, like, straight up blow us out or anything, but is something that can trade off with the Thrasher Raptors, and he won't be too unhappy about it. Have to assume that's why you play it here, yeah. Okay, so I'm fine with that, though. It's good for my opponent, but not great for my opponent. There, Tuskodon, and pass. I am worried, though. My opponent's got more things that help him in a board stall, like Siren Reaver, unblockable threats. And Jungle Delver came to the point where, like I said, we just can't attack into it ever. We don't really have very many combat tricks in the deck. Just one aggressive urge. Yeah, I don't know, maybe we shouldn't have played so aggressively towards a board stall. I think our best hope is to get up to 8 mana, but we're still a ways away from that too. I guess playing Swift Warden's probably better. I don't know. Having this as the opportunity to use to be surprising at some point is probably not bad. I don't think we can afford to swing for a little while anyway, so we'll play Rexali's Keeper. We'll just pass. This game is slipping farther and farther away from us every turn, though. If he finds one more land, he can start giving this 2 counters a turn, and if he doesn't find land, then he's just getting good cards as well. Kind of funny how much Jungle Delver's blanked us. Alright, well, we'll play Thrasher Raptors. We aren't going to make it at this point, though. We got to find removal. I wonder if it's the point where we need to start attacking with things. Give us our best shot. No, I think the way we win is probably by going like removal spell and then finding something like our +2/+2 on everything. We have to find a land then too. I think we have to find a removal spell. But I think if we just swing blindly here, we're not increasing our chances. Crashing Tide. Okay, that's a good one. Yeah, Kapala's annoying too, because even if we find like Hunt the Weak, our last remaining good removal spell, we can't kill off either of the flyers. I think we've lost here. We'll draw one last card and see, but I can't think of anything that saves us. You guys have to let me know if I could have played this better. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I probably could have won this game if I'd orchestrated something, or just like changed mentalities a little bit better. Maybe we were too conservative, but too late to worry about that now, I suppose. Do we change anything? I guess Plummet. The only one we've seen is that 3/2 flyer, which is a good flyer, but I'm worried Plummet's just getting stuck in our hand a lot of the time. Thrasher Raptors is maybe better than I was giving it credit for, since it's a card that just like lets us swing in and trade and get in some damage, which is going to be important a lot of the time. Maybe the frillbacks are a little bit worse. Yeah, I'm not loving our spot going to turn, or into match 3. Sorry, game 3. But we do get to be on the play, which is nice. Okay. Ugh, man. I think we do keep. This hand's, like, I don't know, terrifyingly slow, though. We can't play our Shapers of Nature. Thrasher Raptors and Atali are a long way off. We do have a removal spell, though, one of the few in the deck. And if we find 2-drops and 3-drops in our first couple of draws, the hand is really, really good. But yeah, I'm not in love. Not in love, shall we say. So probably either a 2-drop or like the Woodland Streamer is our best draw there. Thrasher Raptor is a little bit less exciting. This next turn we really want to find, I guess, a 3-drop we can play, or a 2-drop, and then the next turn a land, if we really were going to just pick our favorites off the top. Double Thrashing Raptors is a reasonable clock, but I'm worried my opponent's just going to be able to go more aggressive here. Silvergill Adepts, awfully good. Shaper's Apprentice, pretty solid too. Ah, man. Woodland Stream, just a turn too late. We'll play it now, though, so we can't play anything else anyway. And then we'll start dropping Thrash Raptors next turn. That does mean that Shapers of Nature is no longer a truly dead card. Like, Woodland Stream was better than... It was probably our best land draw, honestly. And we do need lands, but... we also need interactive cards. We're just gonna die. Alright. Take it. Get down to 18. He's got at least a Shaper's Apprentice that's gonna come out now. And maybe something more insidious, too. Oh, man. Siren Reaver's so good. So Forerunner of the Heralds doesn't block as well as Thrasher Raptors. It's a good value card, but I think we're just going to play the Thrash here. My opponent taps out, will probably Hunt the Weak on his Siren Reaver. He doesn't tap out. We will not walk into a bounce spell, but my opponent has something like River Herald's Boon too. That block is still okay for us. He gets to make his Siren Reaver bigger, but... Evolving Wilds and Waterknot. Perfectly reasonable. We take 5. Yeah, I think we're still not looking great. Down to 13. I think we do need to keep hitting land drops. Swift Warden. It doesn't change anything, I don't think. Well, I could use Hunt the Weak now and just remove the threat instead of going down to 8. We don't get the value of the +1/+1 counter. Thrasher Raptors blocks the Silvergill Adept. If he had something better than Waterknot, he probably would have played it. We got down to 8, we kill that, then Shaper's Apprentice starts getting in though. I think Thrash is still better. Ugh. Maybe this should have been a mulligan too. Like, it's possible that our deck just cannot beat a good Merfolk opening if we're not playing something till turn 4. Forerunner of the Heralds, obviously a pretty solid card. And reveals Merfolk Mistbinder. Yep, we gotta take that. Not much to change. Okay, land is good for us. Do we just Hunt the Weak here? Kill off the Siren Reaver? It's likely to succeed, given only one blew up. My opponent then plays Merfolk Mistbinder, but we can still trade with Forerunner. And Silvergill Adept, I guess, can swing, which means we would have to trade with that. I think that's our best play, though. Then next turn, potentially, we'd go Swift Warden, Shapers of Natures if we find a land. I think we have to get rid of the flyer. My opponent can play the Mistbinder. I guess the Silvergill Adept can't actually attack, and we're happy to trade for the Forerunner. It does have Shaper's Apprentice, which I assume is going to start swinging sooner or later. Mistbinder. And Forerunner of the Heralds will get out of control pretty quick. Yep. No attack. So Otepec Huntmaster is pretty bad here. We can play a Forerunner of our own. Don't really like putting something on top of the library because we just have Merfolk that we want to play. Could play the Huntmaster next turn, potentially play a Tali. That might give us enough of a advantage to win. So we could play like Huntmaster, Shapers of Nature, or I guess Huntmaster, Swift Warden. Maybe that's not terrible. We take 7 next turn. Yeah, maybe a Tali is what we gotta hope we win off of. I feel like Forerunner of the Heralds just isn't a real exceptional play next turn. If we'd find a land, then we could make it into a 5/4, I guess. Alright. Huntmaster, not incredibly inspiring, but it's what we got. Swift Warden has the potential to do some stuff here as a 3/3 flash. He might like buff this up a couple of times and swing. Then I guess we could block with Huntmaster. This is hoping we find another land. Well, I guess we don't have to, because actually Atali's cheaper now off the Otepec, assuming it survives. Spell from Murozka. And this is only Merfolk, right? Yep. Ouch. It's on top of our library. So this means he probably does swing with everything, but we have to chump block. Like, we can't even get the Mistbinder in the trade. Of the week. Ouch. Yeah, opponent's deck seemed pretty great, and I'm not sure we were really well equipped to deal with it. So we chump block, go down to 1. Yeah, that is the game. Well, unfortunate, but we're 1-1, and I think the deck is still reasonable. Haven't gotten to use the sweet Atali triggers yet. Hopefully in this last match we'll play something that's not quite as aggressive as Merfolk. I will see you guys there.